Snake as though it was something that he already learned how to
natural.
ride that bike.
It was natural.
Yeah, it was natural.
Yeah, #1 in Tampa, man.
It's all fluid, but this is the proficiency exam. Can you pass? Can you get certified by taking off one of the best, like a pillar of Florida, one of the snake pit mains here?
Every time MVD sees a snake at a tournament, he says that all his children are performing for him.
I like that Vinny's wearing the Tampa skin because red snake is our favorite apparently. Oh, it's wheel break already?
Fuel pressure?
Oh, you gotta study. You gotta study. MVD savoring it. Let that pot simmer, boy.
That's BM right there.
Straight up looked at Vinny G as he charged that smash tech and was like, "You ain't that thick, though."
This is the thing about Snake that my friend likes to say.
Oh,
it's the manliest camper in the game. Manliest camping. It's actually quite enjoyable to watch some of the zoning that we're already seeing from MVD and Vinny G. But, you know, MVD taking that first stock, and now he's just trying to let this damage rack up as much as possible. He's in this corner. Let's see what Vinny can do.
I think a really entertaining thing about Snake Dittos is the ability to use chain reactions. Have a grenade next to a grenade, and then work that fuse towards the bomb, the payload. Let's get it.
Also, the slow rack up on damage with grenades, of course, because grenades never stale because items in this game they don't stale. They will always do like 10.4%.
And no, that's actually really big, though, because Vinny decided not to really approach MVD, and, you know, a quick 23 went to a quick 110, while MVD's still sitting at that 159, where all you really need to do as Vinny G is get a down throw, I believe.
Ooh. It's like, where are you air dodging? And that's the problem right now. I feel like that's what really determines who wins this matchup, is who starts off with the lead first. Because at that point, you know, now MVD doesn't have to approach at this instant. He does get blown up by the Nikita, though, on that Cypher. I believe you need like 8% to knock Snake off the Cypher, but you need a move that does like 13% to blow up the Cypher, and Nikita will definitely do it.
I love this Ditto just because there's explosions everywhere on the screen. It's like we're at a fireworks show.
It's so dynamic.
And you're just looking, you're like
really
looking at everything flying and this, that, and other
This is what
players.
the crew battle looked like.
And, you know, in their mind, they have all these trajectories that they've mapped out in their head.
Oh, ah, so tough. See, you get a C4 right next to the other one when the light's gone off, and Vinny had no clue what minefield he just stepped into. MVD showing what it really takes to be a Snake player.
Yeah, taking a drink from his golden bottle because
Draw
he
from the
knows
flask.
that victory is imminent.
And repping the World Best Gaming sweater and shirt.
All right, get it on. All right, out with it already. Yep.
I just say, you know, it's a nice jacket, you know.
Hell yeah. No, that's stylish. The simple designs are sometimes the most powerful, right? World Best Gaming isn't too flashy. It's not like a reflective spiff hoodie. Not bashing the kid. By the way, purchase that merch. It's nice.
Good streetwear.
Makes it everywhere. But World's Best Gaming, you can go incog. People may not recognize Moana in the street if he's wearing just a low-key hoodie like that.
You got to use the camo skin in real life.
That's true. That's what I really need, an outfit like that, bright red camo.
Yeah.
Grenade battle.
Yeah, literally, that's what this matchup is essentially going to be. For anybody watching at home and does not know what is going on, this is essentially the Ditto is. You're gonna, the sticky. And also to note on that, you know, C4 stickies can actually fall off if you hit the opponent too hard, or if they run around, it can also like fall off randomly in this game.
We saw the transfer right there, and that's why MVD is now flickering.
Nice play there, but still MVD knows exactly where all of his traps are planted. The buried treasure, it's all over. I spread all my gold and left it in one piece.
I honestly feel like Nikita, I can't with you right now. I'm done with you. I honestly feel like Nikita is probably the best move in the game just because if you look at the risk and reward factors, it literally helps.
Whoa.
It literally, what the
We're playing Smash, but MVD is playing Snake.
Yeah,
He's got the Nokia
I know, right?
right now.
I was saying that earlier. It's like you're
Brothers.
playing a game with Snake, you're just following it.
This Metal Gear friend.
Oh, great tech chase.
All right, and still didn't take any damage. So a fresh stock from Vinny, now faced with a fresh one from MVD. Only a grenade touching him, but that damage adds up.
And back to that original first stock zoning, throwing out those grenades, covering a bunch of different arcs. Now, Vinny actually running into a few too many explosives, I would say. And look at this man, 4 grenades on the screen all at one time. What is going on?
There are so many explosions.
I just hear there. That's all I hear.
There. Yeah. All right. One of the toughest things to deal with in this ditto is the fact that every button you hit, from teching the stage to doing your F tilt, trying to get space, all of that picks up a grenade. And there are grenades literally everywhere. So you're grabbing it, there's half a second fuse, and then you're blowing yourself up. And Vinny's losing stocks as a result.
Yeah. We're seeing that in this ditto, being able to throw out that the side B is super, super potent to just kind of clip the wings.
Nikita could be quite annoying to deal with. I mean, I know a lot of people, their answer is like, oh, you know, you hit the Nikita and it takes away. Oh, that was really smart.
That was a great
with
punish.
a hard punish there. Not going to let MVD get away with that for free. And I would say, like, Nikita, you know, you can just hit it and it takes away the hitbox for a full second, but Snake could actually cancel with shield to make the hitbox come back frame 1. It's not as strong, but it's still an option.
Oh, nice! Using the grenade pop-up to follow up with an air. Vinny still showing that he has the resourcefulness necessary to try and end this. Can he possibly do it? He needs to get a game first.
I think he can. We're seeing signs of life and a lot of tenacity coming out from this young man.
I think this is the most words I've heard in a Smash game between 2 characters.
That's
All
true.
tons of
Not a lot of them really have like spoken word.
Oh, with the hard
boots!
push, giving him the kick.
So, Funk, your boy's on the board.
I like to see it.
I like to see it
I
too.
really appreciate that.
I like
He's
to see
wearing
it
the
too.
GotE threads.
Vicky.
I
right,
do work with the charity myself. By the way,
Vicky.
the jersey that we talked about World's Best Gaming. Let me get a chance to cut a promo for my side. All right, Vicky.
All right, hey.
Yeah, you sit there and watch. All right, I let you speak. No, I'm kidding. I didn't. I really didn't. I trampled.
No, but talk about it.
Gamers
Talk
on
about
the
it.
Edge. Beautiful charity that works to manage the game rooms for all Children's Hospital at Johns Hopkins at St. Pete. So it's a wonderful cause. I mean, a sick jersey, to be honest. And it's 1-1 all. We're back at Pokemon Stadium, and the fireworks have already started. Oh my gosh.
We were talking about your voice still on the map here. You got all these explosions happening.
This is a kid, man, that can adapt so well. You know, we were talking about how he did not play Brawl, and he's already adapted to the play style of Snake.
You guys said he doesn't play Brawl. I'm fooled right now.
Yeah, he plays Ultimate.
And all the characters and games he plays are vastly different from one another. And so,
That's true.
Vinny,
yeah.
man.
Oh my.
Besides Falcon, you can't say he really played a true Blue Smash character. He's only played guests.
that's true. That's true.
Oh, that Nikita would have fallen and hit him from that.
All right, so let's also talk about grenades, because I know a lot of people probably don't understand how grenades work. Once you pull a grenade, you're holding it, and you can throw it at a few different trajectories. But you can actually drop that grenade and then pick it up again as a regular item by either spot dodging, grabbing, rolling, and holding shield.
Yep.
It's also there as an active hitbox in case like your opponent tries to jump on you with an aggressive option. The grenade's right there to help cover you. Getting that roll with the up tilt, the ballerina kick.
Yeah. Well, we were saying it earlier, if you're holding grenade and your back is turned to your opponent, that's where you want to be, because most likely if you try to attack your shield, it's actually going to explode in their face. Oh, check that out, the pressure too.
Dash attack to evade? I'll
Dash
take
attack
the
to
dash
dash
attack
attack.
over C4, to be
Oh
honest.
my!
Wait a
Oh,
second.
you
no
trying
way,
to
no.
contest him like that?
MVD a little late on the trigger pull. Wow,
caught
that
it
Nikita
too.
drop. So if you hit
Oh!
shield, if you
Vinny,
hit
the master
shield,
goes
you'll
down
cancel
to.
Nikita and it'll just fall down. Vinny used that to get MVD off stage, and then a beautiful follow-up with that down smash.
Actually,
insane.
that is the proof they do not play Brawl. This guy's a down smash master, and that is a brand new move for that character. Here we go, Vinny.
Okay, dang. So we got feedback from Pro Tips here. So I mean, live. If you got any issues with what we're saying, let us know. But I hear Vinny G practice with Hyper Kirby, #1 PR in Georgia. So Wi-Fi warrior, but very talented nonetheless. And you can see it here on display.
Okay.
So I stand corrected. I'm big enough to admit it.
Vinny has a full stock lead right now, and he's got MVD at kill percent. For this game 3,
intimidating, just walk forward. He's just trying to. He's literally baiting Vinny to approach him first, because at this point he has to. He look at it percent that. Okay, okay, I see what MVD was doing. That bait right there.
Well, that's a 25-second timer, right?
Yep.
He probably knew. Make those mental notes, ladies and gentlemen. This is MVD's time to try to bring this back, but I don't think he's going to get that scissor kick right to the face, man.
Yes, Vinny stepping out front here, showing that youth may be the necessary ingredient, because he's playing with those young dude reactions.
Yeah.
He's slipping in there, getting those up tilts, ended the last 2 games that he's won by just sliding right under whatever MVD's setting up. He's like, you clearly don't have enough time to pull off what you're thinking about, and I'm going to show you.
They're literally, it kind of goes down to what we were talking about earlier in that game 1, where it seems as if the way that this ditto works is like, all right, if I have the lead at that point, I'm the one controlling the pace of the match. You're forced to come to me, and now I could sit down in this ledge and throw my grenades at you.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? Like, it's going to be doing 10% each time. Like, okay,
Yeah.
you take those.
It's just punishing your opponent for trying to get close to you. And I was saying this on the mic earlier this week, there's a few characters in this game, even zoning characters, that are totally okay with just playing passive, passive, passive. But Snake is definitely one of those characters that likes to close space, but also really, really likes to set up, especially as soon as you get that nice early lead. 15 seconds have gone by, and we have not seen anything.
The grenades are clanking off each other.
So a scene from Futurama comes to mind where Leela's fighting Leela, and it's like perfectly symmetrical combat, never solved anything, guys. And that's what it's looking like here.
Is that a bait?
That was a good call out on calling MVD out for the dash attack there with the spot dodge. You know, dash attack is really good. It's invincible on his arms and head, but when you're the C4 coming out.
Yeah, so they actually transferred that twice, but Vinny used it on the second transfer to actually save his landing.
There's also no color. That's not okay.
What is going on?
That is not okay.
That's 2 sets now.
That is 2 sets now.
Why are they yelling Gimmer in the crowd? They're yelling Gimmer.
No. Yeah, every time.
The Gims always wins. We love you, Gimmer, man.
That's the territory, right? He's like, I'm never letting him use mushroom again.
It's like Gimmer might be the GOAT, but we're putting Scape in front of it, apparently. Come to Papa. I don't know what's happening.
All right, guys, we're back. Don't know what's really going on stage here. Hopefully it does not persist.
The second time we saw Vinny actually go for that forward air after that.
Oh, what is happening?
There's a power issue, I think.
There has to be a short.
Oh, somebody died. Somebody died.
Oh, they're gonna.
Somebody died.
Yeah, we gotta start this match over.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think we're gonna take it like that.
All right, cool. Hey, so stick with us.
How you doing?
We're just gonna talk to you guys for a little bit while we try to figure this out.
Unfortunately,
you guys are beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, this happens. We've seen this already happen a few times. Actually, Frostbite being one of the times where, which the luck for Frostbite was incredible because the match would not necessarily stop. Like, it would stop only after the set was over because the switch would like undock itself whenever someone would pop off too hard. So it was always at the end of sets where like someone would pop off, like Myron would jump off his seat, and then the stream HDMI would get messed up. Unfortunately here though, it seems as if the wiring is more so the issue.
It sounds like a wiring issue, honestly.
It happens. I've seen it already. Have happened a few times. I'm just glad that like the Switch exists,
exactly,
and it's not cutting off the power.
So I've got a story about this. Come to Papa 2. I'm teaming with Poltergust, and we're fighting against Seabrick and Mewtwo King.
Okay.
Power goes out for the whole table.
Wait, I think I know about
this. At the end of toward the end of the first game, they were destroying us, and the power goes out, right? So I'm like, okay, we'll start the match over. And Mewtwo King threw a fit at me. He was so upset. He's like, come on, man. You knew we were winning. Come on, man. And I was like, no, I'm sorry, man. Power went out. Power.
Look.
Played my cards.
Say what you want about Mewtwo King, but he has the attitude of a champion. He's
attitude of a champion, man.
You know in your heart of hearts, we had you.
Hey, man, he won the set.
I was going to say, he ended up winning anyway. He ended up winning anyway. We're just trying to figure out the situation right now, you guys. But nonetheless, thank you guys so much for tuning in to Come to Papa 3. While we start figuring out what the wiring issue is here for this top 8, we hope you guys at home are enjoying the explosive matches that we've been seeing so far.
Yeah.
Pun intended there.
I see that. I see what you did there.
Yeah.
So we want to talk about the winner side matches that are going to be coming up after this. We have Tachyon and Mudace coming up.
I'm interested to see that match in particular because I actually think, I mean, we've seen this a few times between Samstar and Isam. I actually think Peach beats Pikachu like it's happened before in the other few Smash games as well, where it's kind of like the same thing in terms of matchup, where I feel like Peach does a really good job at just not only just spacing out Pikachu, but also like just preventing him from really getting the conversions that he really wants to do. We were talking about this actually earlier on.
Yeah,
where we were talking about like whether, would you prefer Pichu and, than Pikachu in the matchup in particularly. And although they did make his hurt box bigger, I feel like Pichu is still a little bit trickier to hit, especially since, Peach is going to be floating, either coming down with a down air or just trying to float back and try to space you out with fair like we saw with Samsora. And I'm like, okay, I can see that matchup being a little bit trickier in terms of for Peach. But with Pikachu in particularly, I feel like it's not really that case. So I feel like Mute Ace is going to have the advantage over Tachyon going into that set in particular. And then we have Dire versus Raito right afterwards.
Yeah,
so.
that's going to be
interesting.
Quite a set. I'm actually really happy that one's going to be our last one. You were going to say something about this. What do you think about this one?
No, I think Vicky touched on everything, really. The intricacies of the Peach and Electric Rat, let's say, because we're gonna jumble them together and then separate after that, right? Peach has a way to neutralize the Thunder Jolt, which is like the chief way of Pikachu and Pichu getting in. Like down air cancels it out, forward air cancels it out, but it's easier to land those hits on the larger of the two, and that gives Pichu a slight edge. It may not be a winning matchup, it might be, but that added level of difficulty means it's going to be tough for Mute Ace to really find the hits on Tachyon, and who knows how long that's going to take.
Also, results too. I mean, we've seen the results already between the infamous money matches that we have between Samsora and ESAM. But aside from that, I feel like the Joker versus Duck Hunt matchup that's going to come right after that.
That's going to be a fascinating one to watch.
I believe you were mentioning this where you feel the Duck Hunts were talking amongst themselves that Duck Hunt does very well versus Joker.
That's what they've been telling me. And, so like Paris and Dewang Thing were on the mic over on the other side. They're all great friends, especially with Raito. And they said, we like the matchup. And obviously they're probably the only people who have seen that matchup, but
I mean,
all you guys at home are about to see it coming up on winner's side, and I'm excited for that. I hear the game audio, which is signs of life for us, I think.
Thank goodness. They are going to be resetting the match, of course. You guys, I believe they also turned off the setup just to make sure what the issue is. They don't want that to happen again.
Right.
Although it's just unfortunate when these things happen because the momentum was there for Vinny.
Right.
I would be upset if I were him right now.
Yeah.
And the momentum was there, and this also puts it essentially just stalls out like what you were doing in terms of like in-game stuff. We're going back into it, of course.
He's got a good attitude, though. That's one thing that I think is one of Vinny's best attributes. He has a strong head on his shoulders. In victory, he's humble. In a loss, he's learned.
I think MVD is a pretty emotional player, too, and having this kind of drawback, win down a game against a player that would widely be considered a huge upset.
Right.
I don't think that Vinny is not skillful. It's just that not enough people have heard about him yet.
Yeah.
You saw him at Smash Conference United, did very well there. But still, not as ubiquitous as MVD. That's a household name.
Yep.
And he does not want it getting lost to things like loss of power. I don't want my Switch going out during this.
Yeah.
My life is on the line.
I agree. Great tech there from Vinny. He's going to get hit by another one of those Nikita missiles, though.
Yeah, there's only so fast Snake could go to get back onto the ledge after teching that. Nikita having enough time to hit him for a second time there. Oh, I like the option coverage right there and stepping back to get that grab, sending MVD off stage.
The forward tilt.
Best laid traps, and again, sliding right past that, the sleeping bag.
What? I've actually asked MVD, like, how does Snake get down easier, I guess you could say, versus an opponent who's trying to snipe you while you're making your way down. He's like, fast fall near dodge is actually how Snake will land from recovery, so other than the fact that you could mix up with V-reverse grenades and C4 drops to add in that additional pressure.
I like how you called it nair dodge right there. That is actually one of the better options that people have started figuring out. You don't always want to go for that directional air dodge. You want to go for just the neutral one.
Yeah.
You can drift a little bit back and forth. But
and you can act out of it faster, too.
You can act out of it faster, and it has almost no landing lag.
All right, it's 2 stocks to 1. Vinny still has some ground to make up here.
And this is what I was talking about in terms of momentum. Vinny was winning that last game, and maybe, that little bit of stall time is what MVD needed to keep his head straight and to figure out what he was doing wrong to readapt. Especially a player like MVD who has a lot of experience competing at, ranked high national events.
Yeah.
So keeping your cool is something that he's learned throughout the years.
And I think that experience is showing right now. Back to neutral here. Grenades tossing. I love when they clash there in the middle.
MVD still trying, working at
Just the same
Vinny in the
angle and
rear view.
Yeah,
everything.
watch out for that mine, though. There's a mine right in the middle. Exploded now. The other mine exploded as well from Vinny.
Yeah,
That's a
little
grenade.
quick-
Tried
Oh,
to
the
send him down
barbarian
to the top
slice.
post pile.
That was amazing awareness, knowing where that grenade was going to send MVD. I mean, the DL was there, but unfortunately the spacing wasn't.
Just an early roll there for Vinny, trying to dodge between these two grenades, which I mean has been the story of the match. God.
A little of an opposite situation that we saw that went on in a game 3. Now we're going on to game 5, the second game 5 of the night between these two Snake mains. And you know, as much as I can see this being a not fun matchup to watch, I'm having a blast watching these two manly men zoning their hearts out and getting some of these meany punishes, man.
I'm not going to lie, I feel like this is like one of the first times I see a Snake Ditto at this caliber where it's Vinny is playing phenomenal, honestly. And MVD, of course, being one of those people that not only put Snake on the map, but I feel like he is also one of the main faces of Snake next to Ally himself. So
Yeah.
I like what we have right now on stream, although I know MVD with his head shake at the end there kind of feels like, you know, the power turning off either flowed more so in his favor or, again, as I mentioned, cut the momentum that Vinny was carrying on into this game.
It's always just an unfortunate situation
Yeah.
when something happens like that because it feels like the integrity of the match is stifled just a little bit.
Yeah, illegitimate at least a little bit, but at the same time, though, you know, you're still in it. Now this is a fresh game right here.
Yeah.
Everyone's on equal ground.
Man, speaking of the high-level
way.
Snake,
No
the
way.
Cypher delayed the hitbox, and Vinny going down so early.
Yes.
That's less than 20 seconds.
He's at 30%?
He was at 30. He was literally at 30.
That was idiotic.
You know, I really didn't expect to see that because obviously he air dodged past to the ledge where he just not snap fast enough. And you're right, that hitbox got extended because of that
the
Cypher.
Cypher, yeah, the Cypher definitely betrayed him.
Yeah, really did. So great, fantastic start. I know that Big Kitty's very happy right now.
No bias, no bias.
Yeah.
Vinny's doing Vinny's doing amazing right now. At the same time, just trying to keep cool. You notice how he's not really trying to be overly aggressive here, despite being down.
Yes,
You know, that's
I
why
agree.
he's trying to play patiently as well.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
So
there,
you
Mickey.
call out with the forward tilt there instead of just holding, just literally staying in place. Sometimes you just have to stand still and figure out what you have to do differently.
Oh, just pressing against the shield there, seeing if MVD's willing to drop, but no, he's going to stand there. But I did get distracted because of the way that first stock went down.
Yeah.
But we're talking about prestigious Snakes. You brought up Ally. Ally just fresh off the win at Pound, doing great. MVD's also a champion, has a belt under his own for Don't Park on the Grass. He's still trying to prove that he can do this.
It was there for
Let's do
so
something
long.
again. Oh my God. There might be a little bit of added pressure because that win was a little bit distant now. And MVD's ready to prove himself. He's always been.
Vinny really needs to hold on to this stock as long as possible. He's got that 14%. He's still living there.
Yeah, the missile didn't hit him, the initial hitbox of the up smash did, so he was going to live that despite being at nearly 160. Oh, that was
down
so
tilt.
fresh.
Goodness.
Connecting with the mortar. Beautiful setup there for MVD.
Yeah, he knew where the trajectory was going to send Vinny there.
The pressure.
Oh, he got stuck.
stickied.
Yep.
Could try to use that in his favor. He did the extension. Try to stick him again, but it's on that platform. You see it sparkling a little bit. Back to neutral.
Yeah, and the dangerous thing about those C4s on the battlefield platforms, they will hit you even if you're underneath it. So
That
Vinny
was,
G just trying to be
a little
cognizant
weird.
where
Yeah,
it is.
flashing that forward tilt with the grenade. MVD getting smothered with explosion for a second, but back into the action. And he's got a healthy lead right now.
Oh, yeah. This is what we're talking about in terms of, like, when you have the advantage at this point and you don't have to approach anymore. Ooh, with the grab, though. Grab range seemed deceivingly large.
Oh, double grenade. The mix-up was getting deeper.
If Vinny's able to take the stock without taking any more percent, I think he's got a chance for this.
Oh,
for
absolutely.
sure.
Oh, MVD, though, pressing that dash attack and holding forward.
Oh, wow.
He fast felt so hard when he landed, he started crawling.
Yeah, he started.
MVD
He low
trying to find terra
profile.
firma.
There it is.
All right.
But 126, that's a lot of percent.
Honestly, Vinny's been living for quite a long time. I mean, we really don't know the outcome here. Vinny's still in the game here, despite being at 126. You see the crowd going crazy for him.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It looks like this MVD doesn't even want to get onto the ground. It had a hard time landing.
Oh my God!
Big chance for Vinny.
He was looking for that fair.
And as evidenced by the way the first stock went, you don't know what.
Oh, with the C4 there.
Ah, it's sportsmanship. But just so you don't forget, what logo was in your face when MVD